I got these 3 mangoes on clearance from Kroger, and I'm going to chop these up and make a spiced mango bread today. So I'm just going to peel the mango. It's a perfect application for extra ripe mangoes to use them in a bread like this. Recipe calls for 3 to 4 mangoes, so I'm using 3 plus that little bit I had left over in the freezer. But if you only have 3, I think it's going to be fine. This is kind of what it looks like after I chopped it up, and now I'm just going to mush it up with a fork. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I didn't do the whole thing with a fork. It was way too hard. I instead used my hands in this and then washed them really well beforehand, obviously, and then after as well. But that's where I'm at. You can kind of see it's just all mushed up. Using my hands is a much better way to go. So that's my recommendation, is to try that using your hands. Okay, we're gonna mush that. Okay, this is next. Oops, this is 1 stick of melted butter. Basically, I didn't melt it until it was liquid. I just softened it really well. And I'm going to add 3 eggs to that. So put my eggs into a bowl so that if I do get any shells, they're easier to get out. Because once I stick them in with the flour and then the other ingredients, they're really hard to see. But in this bowl, I'll definitely be able to see them, because it's glass and I have no shells in there. So 3 eggs. And I'm just going to mix that in with my butter. My butter's not hot. It was just slightly melted. Dump that into the mango. So we need 1 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. When you measure brown sugar, it needs to be packed. So you scoop it up and then you push it down. And that's how you measure brown sugar. And then 1 cup of white sugar. Oh, 2 cups of sugar. This is going to be delicious. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I had the oven set at 350, preheat on 350. One teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. I will put all the directions down below and the ingredients for you so you can see in case I miss any steps when I'm filming. And now 1 teaspoon of cardamom and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. The recipe, you can just do 2 teaspoons of one or the other. I'm going to do both here. So here we go. We're going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. One loaf, but I'm looking at the mix thinking it might be more than 1. So let's just put it in here and see what happens. Okay, my loaf pans must be smaller than what it's calling for, so I'm going to divvy it up between 2 pans. And to stop my bread from sticking, I usually take a piece of wax paper and kind of spray the bottom, stick the wax paper down that fits, and then spray the whole pan, and that usually helps me get it out of the very bottom one that stick. I do that same thing for banana bread too. I'll have to share my amazing banana bread recipe with you because that one's really good. You will make lots of friends with that one. Probably because I don't know what size these loaf pans are, but they're not super big. Clearly. And I hope I don't overflow the oven. So what I think I'm going to do is put a cookie sheet underneath. Jelly roll pan. What do you guys call those? I'm going to stick these on a cookie sheet so they don't overflow my oven, just in case. I have no idea how these are going to cook up.
This recipe made 2 9x5 loaf pans, and it was delicious. I brought some to a neighbor. My kids plowed through a whole loaf by themselves, and by the time I was able to get a picture, this was pretty much all that was left. I hope you give it a try. It only took about an hour in the oven at 350. So if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see future videos. I do recipes, money saving tips, and grocery hauls. Hope to see you in the next video.